Listen to me. If you're broken right now, if you're tired, rejected, lonely, if you've been carrying pain no one sees, then this story is exactly for you. Because before this story even begins, there is something you must promise yourself. Right now, in this moment, from today forward, I will not cry in front of anyone. I will not show my pain to this world. From today, I will change my life, not with words, but with actions. Hold that promise in your heart. Now take a breath, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see your suffering forever. Her name was Sarah Dawson, a girl from a rundown neighborhood in Detroit, USA, a place where hope died young and dreams stayed trapped behind boarded-up windows. She grew up in a home filled with shouting, broken bottles, and a father who disappeared into the night more often than he came home. Her mother worked 3 jobs, but bills stacked like walls. And Sarah learned early that poverty isn't just an empty wallet. It's an emotional cage. At 8 years old, she saw her mother collapse from exhaustion on the kitchen floor. The memory burned deep, the trembling breath, the dying bulb, and her tiny hands dialing 911. It was the first time she whispered, "Why do we always suffer? What did we do wrong?" But the world didn't answer. School wasn't escape. It was another battlefield. Kids mocked her shoes, her cheap backpack, the smell of detergent from the laundromat. One girl said, "You look like sadness." Sarah held her smile, but broke the moment she reached the bathroom. Silent tears, shaking hands, ribs hurting from crying. Her bedroom was a cold cave. No toys, no posters, just cracked paint, a thin blanket, and loneliness. Sometimes hunger felt like knives. Sometimes she covered her ears to escape arguments. Sometimes she wondered if life would ever get better. At 16, a doctor shattered her world. Fibromyalgia, chronic pain, no cure. Her own body felt like her enemy. When she told people, her father shrugged, her mother cried. And the counselor said, maybe aim for something simpler, as if dreams needed permission. That night she walked alone in the rain, her steps heavy, her breath broken. She reached a bridge and stared into the dark water, hands trembling on the railing. Her heart whispered, maybe this is the only escape. But then she remembered her promise, not to quit, not to collapse. She stepped back. She survived her darkest night. Pain didn't vanish. Life didn't suddenly change, but Sarah changed. She studied every night in that freezing room. She pushed through pain that felt like fire in her bones. She worked part-time jobs with trembling hands. She failed again and again and again, but failure became fuel. At 19, she learned graphic design on a cracked laptop. At 21, she started freelancing. At 23, she launched a tiny online business. At 25, it exploded into 6 figures. Small wins, silent victories, private growth. The day she signed a lease on a new apartment, her mother cried harder than she did. At 28, Sarah built one of the fastest-growing design brands in the state. Her chronic pain didn't disappear, but she learned to rise above it. She wasn't healed, she was unstoppable. Now Sarah stands on a stage in front of thousands. Spotlight on her, silence in the room. She looks at her trembling hands and thinks of the girl on the bridge. Then she looks up and says, pain didn't destroy me, pain built me. The crowd rises, applauds, rise, and Sarah smiles. The smile of someone who turned hell into heaven, with discipline and courage. Listen, most people hide their pain. But here, on Pain is My Fuel, we show you that pain is not your enemy. Pain is your power. Pain is your training. Pain is your destiny. Just like Shahid Khan, Paul DeJoria, Prem Watsa, Ursula Burns, Hyodo Shimizu, Ken Langone, MrBeast, Emily Carter, and now Sarah. You can rise too. Your scars are not shame, they are strength. Remember this, pain is not the end of your story. Pain is the beginning of your rise.